Hello and welcome to third lecture in eighth chapter in our comprehensive course on artificial intelligence, machine learning and data science. In this course, in this chapter, we are learning about data manipulation using pandas, and currently we are doing about group by and aggregation. Now I say that group by and aggregation are so closely related with each other that they are almost married to each other, and there is no point of doing group by without aggregation. Why? Let us try what group by without aggregation can do. So again, this is just recreating that data frame, original data frame, which we have been using for our example right from beginning of this chapter. Now this is my data frame. These are product IDs. 20 rows are there. Sales for that product ID, price per unit may be for that product ID, quantity for that product ID. This may be price per some other measure, maybe something like some weight or something, and department for the in which that product ID 1 is sold. So it is in home department, and region first sale record is in this region. Remember, I have so far not even applied any group by. This is just my data frame only. So first record is in north region, next is in west region, and so on. Now let us group by quantity. Okay, here I have first kept this commented out. Okay, why? That you will see, and that will show many subtle things about internal working of group by. Okay, so when I just group by quantity, I don't apply any aggregate function after that. Otherwise, earlier also we grouped by quantity here, but then we immediately aggregated and found the mode. This is the aggregation function, mode over region. Okay, but here we are not applying anything. We are just using group by quantity. So we are getting one such result, group df, and then we are printing it. You will see that I just get one this kind of output. Why? That it is pandas.core.groupby.generic.dataframe group by object. So actually speaking, we have written it grouped df, but it is not even pandas data frame. It is some intermediate object which pandas has created. The very fact that pandas chooses to behave in that manner is because pandas knows that this grouping is just an intermediate act. After grouping, something must be there. You can even check the data type of that grouped df. Okay, it is df is written, but please remember it is not pandas data frame, but it is some intermediate object. Okay, so if you write the type of that, then that shows class pandas core group by generic data frame group by. Okay, but it is not a pandas data frame. Here if I see the type, this is my original data frame. If I see the type, then it will be a totally different type. It will show me that pandas core data frame, while this is not that pandas core group by generic data frame. So that means this is some intermediate strange object which is not a data frame at all, and that is why when you try to print that, this I am again commenting out, I don't need it, so I comment out. If you try to print that, you just need this, you don't get any output like that. While when you try to print a data frame, you get an actual data frame like this with rows and columns. Okay, so here you are not getting anything, you are just getting that this is an object located at this memory location, that's all. Okay, now then what to do about this? Either if you are capable of writing your own aggregation functions, then write your own aggregation functions like these, or maybe like these, where of course the mode function you had to define earlier by using lambda function. But if you are not capable of writing your own function, then pandas provide several built-in options which will show you that after you obtain your group df, which is not even data frame but which is some intermediate object, you can use various functions like first, then you can use other function like sum, other function like size, etc. So what do those functions give? Let us first write first, and as here I have written in big letters, it will give me first row of each group. So here I am grouping by quantity. So there are how many quantities? 9. Then other 9 is somewhere here. Other 9 is here. So and other 9 is here. So all these 4 records will be grouped together. Similarly, quantity is 1. That is this record. Quantity is 1. That is third record, and then 13th record. Quantity is 1 has only 2 records. So these two will be grouped together. And when I write, so group df has records which have quantity 1 separately, records which have quantity 2 separately, records which have quantity 3 separately. And when I write first, then it will print the first in each group. Let us print. So you can see quantity 1, the first in that group is this, but there will be other record in quantity 1. You can see here quantity 1, this is 1, and quantity 1, this is another. But it has printed only one. Which one it has printed? 897 sales and 86.74 price. So that means it has printed only this, and it did not print this because it prints only the first record. It did not print this because it prints only the first record in each group. Similarly, quantity 2 is a group. Now, how many will come in that group? Then this has quantity 2. So, first record, this has quantity 2. Second record, this third, this fourth. So, 4 records are there, but it will print only one, first one of that. So, it is printing 550389.13 clothing in quantity 2. So, where is that in quantity 2? It is the first one in that group. So, 5503, yes. So, it is printing this in quantity 2, this record, clothing, okay, this record. Now, the question which automatically arises in our mind is, how does it decide which is the first record, okay? So, for that, let us try to do the same grouping operation and printing all the records for every quantity, not just first record for quantity 1, first record for quantity 2, first record for quantity 3, but every record for each quantity, okay? So, if you do that, for that you can use a for loop like this, that for quantity and group, in group df, print quantity. This is just what it is if you want to be more indicator. Otherwise, you can just write print quantity and print group, okay? Print new line after one quantity and its corresponding group are printed. So if you write that, a nice result is obtained which makes things more clear. Rows with quantity 1, there are 2 rows. Rows with quantity 2, there are 4 rows. Rows with quantity 3, there are again 3 rows. Rows with quantity 5, there are 2 rows. Now the problem here is that here the first row in this group is 897.86.74. Here also it is 897.86.74, yes. So that is why it will not occur automatically. That occurred because I had actually executed this line earlier. Let me show you by restarting the kernel. If I restart my kernel, now I find group df. Now I find group df first. Name df is not defined, so I will have to create df. Okay. Now I find group df, and now I find group df first. You can see that first record is this. Okay. In quantity 1, the first record is this. Now let us print every record in quantity 1, quantity 2. So here, by for loop, when you print in quantity 1, the first record is 466 or something. Okay, so I think they are matching fine. Then that is absolutely no issue. Then there is no need of sorting the index. I think it is properly sorted only. Okay, fine. Okay, so then I can also get this same output by using for loop in a more succinct way. This is more important because many times you will not be. So the first is the built-in command in pandas for after grouping, group df.first, group df.sum, and group df. One other command was we had just now seen size. But these 3 are built-in commands, but they just give only first row in each group. If you want to see the groups as a whole, then now it is clear that this is the group. For these product IDs 13, 19, and 20, only one quantity was sold. For these product IDs, that is 3, 14, 16, 17, and 18, 2 quantities were sold. Based on this, then the store can do analysis that in for certain product IDs, why less quantities are sold, only one quantity is sold, and that also it is sold in east, south, and west. So that means nothing is sold in north region. So why nothing is sold in north region, and what to do about it, like that. So this is more useful form of result for analysis. Now you can get this same result which I have obtained by this kind of for loop by some built-in method. Because the group by, this is what I was saying, that internal behavior of group by, this group df is meaningless because I showed you that print group df when you don't get all group df directly. Instead, you just get the data type of group df and the object is located at this memory location. So if you want to find all the groups and print the output of all groups, then you have to use the for loop like that. Even the first is not much useful because it will print only the first row in every loop, every group. But this is another more better, more succinct way of creating this. So I am clearing the output of this cell so that the code remains for comparison. I am clearing the output of this first also because now we know that it will give only the first row in each group. Okay, but comparison is between these two codes. This code gave me the whole groups, not only just the first row, but whole groups in every for every quantity. Similarly, these also will give. And here, like here, we have written for quantity group in group df. Here I am writing for key group in group df, and f equals group and just key. You can see how succinct it is, and that shows that this group df is stored by some kind of dictionary, and whatever column you are grouping by, that becomes the key, and this group is the name of the group, and you can find that key. Now you print the group and see if it is exactly same output or not. Then it is exactly same output as it was found by my longer for loop. You can get entire group 1, entire group 2, from which you can then do some analysis. For example, group 3, quantity 3 is 3 quantities are sold only in north and south region. East and west are completely eliminated. Why? So that kind of analysis then you will assign to your data scientist, and he will come out with some solution. So this is okay. This is now not required because it does not show different data frame. Yeah, fine. Now view the sum of each numeric column with the group. This we will, okay, let us finish that. So again I print group df, but now we know that group df is meaningless. Okay, if I don't print anything and comment out this line, then print group df, it just will say that this group df is a dictionary type object and it is located at this memory location. That's all. It does not print the entire group df, maybe for all groups or even for one group. But if you write first, here I'm now clearing the output of this cell also. I'm keeping the output of this. Just like after group df, you write aggregation function first, then it will give me the first row in every group. Similarly, after grouping by quantity, if I write here grouping by sales, okay, sorry, and I write sum, then I will get the sum of sales for each. So then quantity 1, its sale is this much, total sales. Okay, quantity 2, its sale is this much, 3, its sale is this much. Okay, so I have grouped this time by sales column. If you want to recreate the data frame just for better understanding, then let me add one cell and let us recreate the data frame. So I'm grouping by sales column means find the same cells. Okay, so maybe 818 cell is there. Now there is anywhere 818 is appearing again. Mostly it is not appearing. Okay, then 562 more it is appearing. Then no, it is not appearing. So no, this is group df and then sorry. So group df is the what? Group df is the quantity which is obtained here. This is my group df. Okay, sorry. So I will have to still add one thing. This was my original data frame. This is my grouped by quantity, but there is no advantage of printing that group df directly. It will just show that it is some this kind of intermediate object and it is at this memory location. Because grouping is meaningless unless I apply some aggregate function. Here first we had applied aggregate function first, and we saw that we got that kind of output, this kind of output for the first row in every group by quantity. Now we once again are grouping by quantity only, so it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 only, grouping by quantity only, and then aggregating by sale. So group by quantity, this is group df is its output. It is not even data frame. Okay, so and then it is now showing a different way. Yeah, because I have written first. Okay, so group by quantity, and then yeah, it is showing one intermediate object. Now I do aggregation with sum. Okay, so group sales is equal to group ds, that is this thing, a data frame, not even a data frame but intermediate object which is obtained by grouping my data frame with on quantity column and then aggregating that on sales column. Okay, so best way to understand this is write this in this manner. First let us see the output, and then I will show you that the best way which I am talking about, that will also produce the same output. So quantity 1, its sum of sales is this much. So you can find quantity 1 here, and its sum of sales is how much, that you can find. Then quantity 2, its sum of sales can be found in original data frame like that. Okay, so quantity 1 is here and 778. Okay, quantity 2, so it is this, so 818, then 2, another 562, so 8 and 2 10, and 6 and 1 7 and 1 carry, so 8. So 8 and 0 last 2 digits were, and first 2 digits will be 8 plus 5 13. So 13, and there must be another 2 somewhere. Here there is another 2. So this was 1300, sum of these two, and now this 366. So that is 1666, and there is still another 2, 903. So somewhere 2500, 2600 like that. Okay, so 2649, correct. Okay, then similarly for quantity 3, so I have to find this sales 205 plus this sales 666 plus there is no, okay, so 6 and 20 means somewhere 800 and something. Yes, 871 like that. Okay, now best way to do that is in single line only. You write it this way, that what was your grouped df, because if grouped df, that is this, is meaningless and it does not give any result unless aggregation is done, then everything is always written in one single line, df dot group by quantity and then dot sum. You will see that that also gives same result. Just I am noting down these results so that we can compare if it is same is obtained or not. And then this, okay. So group by quantity and then sum. But when I do the sum, yeah, sum of which, that also you should write sum of sales. Okay, so that gives same result for each quantity: 778, 2649, 871, 433, 259, and so on. Okay, so best way is to do by this method. That whatever was done in intermediate step, why do that intermediate step at all? Okay. Here I'm bringing it back to the original, and this is the result. Okay, now one more is just like first group DF first. This that gives me the first row in every group. I have grouped by quantity and then I write group DF first. That gives me first row in every group. Similarly, group DF sum sales. So then first I am grouping by quantity and then I am finding aggregating over sales column. That gives me this. Similarly, on a group DF, on its own it is not useful, but I can use another command called size. So for that also I will recreate the whole data frame, because that is the best way to learn. You should learn things from the beginning. Okay, so let me add one cell here and one more also. And this is recreating the data frame. So this is my original data frame. Now I am grouping it by quantity. So I am getting some intermediate object called group DF. Don't be misled by the word DF. It is not pandas data frame, but it is some this kind of object, pandas core group by generic data frame, group by object. Okay. And now I am doing group DF dot size. So that will allow me to see all values and their counts. Okay. So quantity 1 is sold how many times in all regions and in all departments. One quantity is sold how many times? So one quantity is sold 3 times. Now that you can check, this is my original data frame. So one quantity here, then sorry, quantity. So one quantity is first time, one quantity second time, third time also should be there somewhere. One quantity 3 times. Why third is not appearing? Yeah, here 1, 1, and this one. Okay, so 3 times. Two quantity is 4 times. So two quantity is 2, 2, then 2 third time, and 2 fourth time. Okay, so 2 quantity 4 times. So size gives the size of each group. Size means how many elements are there in each group. Just like size of a list gives number of elements in a list. Similarly, size of each group obtained by group by, that gives the number of elements in that group. Okay, so this is one command. So group by, in short, takes some aggregate functions immediately after it. Now either you can use first or you can use sum after. Before doing sum, you have to specify on which quantity you want to do your sum, like this. Okay, and size, before size nothing, so it will show the size of all. Here also you can specify that I want the size of only this column, then you can get the size this group, then you will get the size of that group. But normally we would be interested in how each group are, so that we come to know that which group is the largest or which group is the smallest, that kind of answers. So always some aggregate function immediately follows group by. Now that aggregate function, if you do not want to write the built-in function, that is first or sum or size, then you have to write your own function. So own function is like this, that mode function, and then you aggregate using the mode function. This reset index is an optional thing, just displays the output properly. Or here you are aggregating by using various aggregate functions for arithmetic column. But group by and aggregation cannot be learned in isolation of each other. They have to be learned in together only. Still, the discussion about group by will continue. So far we have done up to how much? Size, that was last. Yeah, here. Yes, I think it is over. Group by discussion is over. Next, our discussion will be on merge. Thank you.